What do a weekend warrior with 10k Instagram followers and Cristiano Ronaldo have in common? They both understand something 90% of athletes are missing. People think that everybody understood the power of social media nowadays. I think there has been also a big shift on social media.
We are all becoming consumers of other people's journeys and living vicariously.
You won't even believe what opportunities having a personal brand will give you and what doors it will open. You don't necessarily need to have your 100k, your 200k.
I don't believe in the whole 10,000 hour rule and whatever. You just need to start.
No one gives a shit. Welcome to Run the Brand, episode 7, the podcast for entrepreneurs and athletes and everyone in between. And today we're going to talk about why it's so crucial and so important that you are building your personal brand.
Before we start, let's start with where all this basically comes from, right? Or the shift in culture. And before the shift in culture, it all actually, we all know the Michael B. Jordans, the top athletes back in the days. They weren't walking around with
Did you say Michael B. Jordan, dude?
Oh, sorry. I meant Michael Jordan.
He thinks that Creed is real. Wow.
Oh, God.
They got you. Are you also that person that thinks that wrestling is real?
Or to all our American audiences,
Dude.
I am sorry, okay?
Michael Jordan, Michael B. Jordan? Damn.
Michael B. Jordan, you're invited regardless, okay?
He's an athlete too, dude. He's an athlete too. He's a stud. Yeah, for sure.
But anyway, Michael Jordan, and all the top athletes from back in the days, right? Nowadays we see the Netflix documentaries about them, but back in the days they weren't the one handling their own how to tell their own stories. It was their management. It was their team, their club, and stuff like that. Personal branding, even for entrepreneurs. A few episodes back, we talked about the shift of entrepreneurs to healthier living, right? But there's so many shifts at once. We didn't talk about personal branding. And there too, we are seeing way more founders nowadays actually sitting down, thinking about content, becoming content creators themselves and doing it right. We're going to go into that now. But back in the days, it was very much gatekeepers, right? People holding you back. You should only perform and focus on performing and not really telling your story. That power, because it is a power to tell your own story, that power was in the hands of your management and other people. But there have been some scandals as well, how that has been mistreated.
But actually, can I interject here? I think also one reason why it shifted from the way it used to be, where you needed to perform or be like a high name in top 1% of your sports to actually make a living from, let's say, advertisements and sponsorship deals. And like you said, a lot of it was managed by your management or handled by your management. And back then, a lot of more people actually consumed TV or were watching TV.
Yes, that is true.
So there was a lot more focus on advertisement, which when you look back, feels very cringy. And also like you think like, okay, how did people not fall for this? But it was simply like, okay, the whole concept basically was, okay, you put, let's say, you talked about Michael B. Jordan. But let's put a person there that
haunt me now.
you aspire to, or like a lot of people aspire to, and let them use your product.
Yeah.
That's basically the whole concept, and it worked for years. Through the shift of social media, we clearly know what's going to happen now into the new modern age. You don't necessarily need to be a top % athlete. But I think also one important thing is to note that it's just also way more brands.
Of course. It's a lot of democratization of a lot of stuff, or more and more people having basic access to a lot more stuff. May it be brands, may it be brand deals, as you just said, the sponsorships. It's not you performing at your highest level at the Olympics and the stadiums of the world for Nike to approach you. There are other models now. The business model has been kind of expanded, which is beautiful. And I think, of course, a lot of stuff kind of came into it. Maybe COVID, maybe other economical shift, social media, as you said, and people and behaviors as well, right? Consumer behaviors, because we want to be part of your journey and not you being up there and being very unapproachable for us.
Yeah.
I follow people because I love the journey. I want to be part of the journey and I'm cheering for them and stuff. Once they make, I'm going to be happy for them as well. But back in the days, it was just different. But yeah, lead us through how that is shifting now, or
Yeah.
to what it's shifting.
I mean, let me give you actually like a perfect example.
Yeah.
I think it just makes it easier for everybody to understand. And I feel like most people are aware of it, but people think that everybody understood the power of social media nowadays, especially when it comes to founders, entrepreneurs, or athletes. But there's some clear examples that a lot of people still don't understand. And I also will go into that. But let's take, for example, On Running as an example.
Yeah.
If you see how many sports teams they're sponsoring or how many elite athletes they're sponsoring, I would say it's quite little
Yeah.
compared to some of the other competitors. But especially the last few weeks, one thing they're really heavily leaning into is actually focusing on those fitness and sports lifestyle creators. They don't necessarily even have the biggest followings. I mean, there is a person that has a 10K Instagram following, 15K, or like 1,000 on YouTube. It's not that big, but of course, then you have there like your people that have like 200K on YouTube. But it's a very beautiful mix of different people. There's like a hybrid athlete that's focusing on high rocks that also used to be a professional cook. Then you have like a person that is a Ironman triathlon newbie, completely new, and they're literally pushing and pumping a lot more money into them than actually the elite athletes. And the reason for it is because they have a lot more leverage nowadays
course.
than the elite athletes. And I think you said it beautifully. If an average person like you and me is documenting their journey, and
Yeah.
talking about documenting the journey, it's not just about the highs, because that's the thing that you often see with elite athletes. They're not, you could not imagine yourself being in their shoes. It's just too far away. It's not relatable. And that's the power of the everyday person building their personal brand. And that just shows that you don't need to be in the top level 1% of your sport to actually make a good living of it.
No.
You just simply need to enjoy what you do and put it out there, give value to other people, inspire, educate, and also just be your true self. People will like you for yourself and not trying to pretend to be something you're not.
Yeah. I think what you just said leads me to something like until today, it is one of my most favorite documentaries so far. And it is a documentary of Kanye, the Gene Has or
Oh,
something.
dude, you're gonna get us canceled. Michael B. Jordan, Michael
my
Jordan.
God.
No, what is wrong with you?
Let's talk about. Let's leave the artist out of this. But
Please, yes, we're just focusing on the concept and like his craft. His
I
art.
mean, Netflix released it after his whole controversy, so it's not my fault, right? Take me out of this. I'm just referring. But I think that documentary is so well made. And of course, it was very rigid, very agile, very candid. It was rough, right? It's not the perfect, polished, I don't know, National Geographic kind of stuff. Very close, authentic, most actually authentic. And we were so close while watching it to his journey. And we're like, wow, we feel his losses, we feel his pain. It's about feeling as well. It's about not just empathizing, but to document something in such a way that it is so authentic that you feel like you have lost with the protagonist. You feel, because it's the journey of a normal human being.
Yeah.
We are all human beings, and we all win, we all lose, we all cry, we all laugh, we all are brothers or friends and stuff. It's cool, it's nice. And I think, although we're talking about athletes and entrepreneurs, I think this everyone who is on a journey should document their journey.
Yeah, I mean, having a personal brand is, especially now. Okay, now we're really making this whole podcast controversial, but especially in the age of AI, having a personal brand will in the future be your biggest leverage.
Yes,
because having a strong personality out there on the social media, people knowing you for who you are won't ever be replaced.
yes,
I don't know what's going to be in a few years, but I can't imagine that brands are going to pay necessarily for AI creators, as many say now, especially these bigger brands, because in the end, we're all humans. It's all about human connection. And I feel like that's something powerful you can build as a personal brand. I mean, also the reason from a marketing perspective why brands are really loving this whole new thing about the sports fitness creators compared to how it used to be that you put a lot of money into one elite athlete is they can literally use the same amount of money that you would have spent for an insanely expensive TV commercial
Yep.
and spread it over so many people. And the people that you reach, that's also why I'm saying you don't necessarily need to have your 100K, your 200K. You, if you're a niche creator, sometimes 1,000 or 10,000 followers can be more than enough to actually have enough leverage to go to a brand or whoever you want to work with or whatever you want to do to say, hey, I have 1,000 true loyal fans. We definitely are not the first one to say that. I think
Yeah.
that's a pretty old concept, but it's still so true.
Yeah, but at the same time, a little disclaimer here out here as well. Don't take it the wrong way, because I think people should have just fun documenting the journey and being on the journey. Whatever comes out of it, don't overpromise yourself something and then quit your job and say, like, just do it for the love of just documenting and being on a journey. Because adventure happens to adventurers. And I think that's you need to set your values straight as well. Because if you're doing it and rushing things and trying to get brands and deals, if you're doing for the love of that, I feel like it might be more hectic and more stressful as you think.
Yeah.
But if you're doing it for the love of it, I think that is where personal branding really shines.
I think that's perfectly what you said. And I think that also leads us actually into maybe some actionable steps.
Yes.
I think that definitely was number one. That's definitely the foundation that should be there.
Yeah.
And like literally latching onto what you said, it should be fun. Can speak from my personal experience, especially with my background as a filmmaker. You know, you always tend to want to make everything super cinematic, make it look perfect. It needs to be perfect. You have this ego certain standard you have to have before you can put it out there to the world.
Yes.
And often this can take the joy out of it. So when I started documenting my journey training for my first Ironman 70.3, I intentionally told myself, okay, I only going to use my phone, which annoyed me so much. Was I only going to use my phone, none of my cameras, and I literally just gonna edit it on. Like back then, they didn't have the Instagram edit app, so I just used just as usual like CapCut, and spent 30 minutes max editing it every day. Just film it on the phone and literally editing it immediately on the phone, get it out there, keeping it as simple as possible, the work process, the workflow as easy as possible. So this doesn't take away the joy of me actually performing that activity.
Yeah. Okay. Regarding that, would you say because you've experimented a lot, right? What is your best workflow so far?
Honestly, to be fair, for me, using a proper camera and editing on the computer works best because I have years of experiences with editing on the computer and a screen and a desktop. And I just know how to work with different focal lengths and whatsoever. I don't want to go into nitty gritty. But I feel like if you start out and actually looking at majority of content creators, there's amazing tools out there, but simply using your phone, you can grow a massive following while also just simply enjoying documenting your journey because you anyway have your phone with you all the time. Because for different sports and different occasions, there's different tools. For example, I can't take my big camera on a bike ride necessarily or swimming. So just take your phone, like to start with. The thing is like also another practical tip. Don't want to take away all of them, but just start.
Yeah.
It doesn't help if you obsess on planning. You have to have the perfect content strategy. You have to have the most exciting week of training happening or the most exciting activities and events happening. Just start, and also don't be afraid to document the mundane. People can relate to that. That's super authentic. Don't try to be something you're not, like we said multiple times. Just start, don't make it perfect. And I think everybody said that before, especially when it comes to social media. Quantity leads to quality, to quote Alex Hormozy here. And it's so true. You need
That is so
data
true.
input. You need to,
Experiment often. It's something we do and try to do and talked about yesterday as well. Like the cycle of you starting something and ending it and doing it over and over, that actually. And I don't believe in the whole 10,000 hour rule and whatever, but it is kind of like a mark you can maybe see or take as a direction, right? But I fully agree that you just need to start. There's this on athlete recently discovered, and I didn't even know. Like I just saw his reel and was like, "Yo, this is amazing." It was this guy who he was obese, and started documenting himself and on his journey to getting to his let's say dream weight, and I think he had like less than 200,000, but was sponsored by On, and he's still not there
Yeah.
after I think a year or something. But his journey, the way he tells a story, and he makes us all feel.
Yeah.
And I think at the end of the day, that is how I judge is if I'm gonna follow someone's journey or not. Right? It's not just authentic, but are you making me feel
Yeah.
like as if I'm winning with you or losing with you? And I think that is so important when it comes to my personal thing as well. Like from my view, there's this one, and the reason I'm starting or will be starting now as well is
Oh,
there's this one.
guys, he's putting it out there.
Oh my
Like, better
God.
check his Instagram. If he's not
Shush.
following through, you can literally hunt him down.
Don't make me sweat. No, but it's coming 100%. I think there's no other two things, right? If I look back on my life, I mean, it was basically what we said in the beginning. It was in the power of our parents to document us, we were children and everything, right? But looking back, there are certain experiences or certain memories you're like, oh, I wish I had this on camera and stuff.
Yeah.
Of course, but we're children, so it's fine. But I think now that we are older a bit or more adults, it's up to us to document it. And I think that is the beauty of the whole thing as well. But at the same time, I think there's one thing, there's this one pain I've come to not hate, but it hurts, which is if you like someone starts on their journey like a year ago, and then they said they want to run an Ironman, for example, and then after a year they actually do it, and in the meantime you have been following, you have been liking, you've been seeing and watching the reels, and it was a whole year from the get go until they were done. You didn't move at all. You didn't improve at all. Although you could have just joined their journey,
Yeah.
and you know what I mean? We are all becoming consumers of other people's journeys and living vicariously.
Yeah.
And I think, of course, it's cool, it's nice. But I think personally, if you are a founder, an artist, or you are building or doing your own thing, I think that is one of the biggest pains for me personally.
Yeah.
Like, oh, I've been following this guy, but I didn't do anything at
Yeah.
all. Yeah.
I mean, that's true. I mean, you always need to not just be a consumer, but rather shift your mindset to being a creator.
Yeah.
Basically, to what you said, and also that, like, you said that perfectly. And I think we can sum it up literally in one sentence. It's not about the outcome; it's about the journey. People. That's the difference between back then. Back then, it was all about the outcome, the performance. And if the performance outcome was there, then you could not document, but you could literally get the big bag from
Yeah.
the companies. Now it's not about the outcome. People don't necessarily care about the outcome. They care about your story on your journey of getting there, being relatable and inspiring. Like you said, you always feel very inspired.
Yeah.
But then it's for people to shift their mindset from being a consumer to a creator. And I think one thing it's also easily to fall into, and I also saw that recently from a very amazing creator. I forgot her name, unfortunately. I will try to remember, but what she said was also very important. Yes, if you're starting out, do it for the fun of it, do it for yourself. Do it for yourself in the first place. But if you really long term want to make something out of it, it doesn't need to be money. It can be just opportunities and amazing connections. That's basically why I'm doing it. I'm not doing it for monetary reasons. I'm doing it because you won't even believe what opportunities having a personal brand will give you and
Yeah.
what doors it will open, and also what amazing human connections you will get.
Yeah.
But she said, which is really important, especially if you want to do it a bit more strategically
Mm-hmm.
and successfully, no one gives a shit. No, everybody is so self-centered.
That is so true.
If you just document your journey
Mm-hmm.
without giving any sort of value.
Mm.
But sometimes documenting your journey is giving already a value. For example, it is entertaining. There is maybe something educational in it, or maybe it has even something like emotional or something people can feel. Or best of all, it has all these three things.
Yeah.
And you don't necessarily need to just, let's say, give educational tips, your top 3 for doing that and that better. No, it's just simply if you focus on making your content less selfish and making sure there is some sort of value while just simply documenting your journey, that's the best option.
Yeah.
Because then you're
100%.
not falling to a trap just to only create for the algorithm, but at the same time, you're also not just making purely selfish daily vlogs
Yeah.
that won't really bring much value except your ego.
That is perfectly said. I think that is like, it doesn't get better than that. And maybe a little thing I would add is to create, because someone recently said it and said, people feel more drawn towards you if you share your failures, right? Instead of, this is not an ego trip. Like, I think personal branding is nothing, and especially for the audience, the new generation, it's not an ego trip of how amazing you are and how you run, I don't know, 5K sub 20 or whatsoever. It's about, hey, I'm on this journey. You're documenting. I think we need to emphasize the word documenting more than actually just being a creator, because it's about a documentary of yourself, right? Your journey, basically. But I think share your failures as well,
Yeah.
because they are sometimes even more important than just your wins, because your multiple, we all know how storytelling works, right?
Yeah.
The whole drama and the protagonist failing and training again and trying again and trying again until they hit it, and we are as ecstatic with them as if we would it. I recently saw something as well about Pedro Pascal.
Oh man, I love this guy.
He's
Such a good actor.
amazing.
Yeah.
But his story, dude,
Yeah.
I'm like, whoa, the amount of rejections in
Yeah.
his life and the way everything kind of fall into place, and now everybody knows him. He's literally almost every movie. Sometimes I'm like, dude, how many movies are you making per year?
No, honestly, this guy is amazing. I
But
love
he's
it.
so humble,
Yeah.
so amazing. And he said, hey, it is the failures that make you. Yeah, of course, the success is not amazing, and you don't want to go back. You have a better life and stuff. You can provide for your children, and it's amazing. But the failures make you, and it humbles you as well. It
Yeah.
makes you human.
But okay, I to 99.9% agree with you.
Yeah.
And it's so important to share this. But then we have the flip side of it, because I think there has been also a big shift on social media where, yes, people focusing on authenticity and relatability. And yes, failures are super relatable, but then there's these few individuals that just, I don't know why, but just taking it up way too far and just really like being so vulnerable. And there's always a certain limit to it. It needs to
100%.
be natural. If it happens, it happens, but don't over or dramatize or make your failures bigger than they are, because then it literally has the opposite effect.
Yeah.
And I mean, I also don't want to necessarily go too deep into content or social media strategy. I think that could be a very interesting topic for another episode. If you guys are interested, would be really nice to hear from you.
Yeah. Comment
in the
below,
yeah,
actually. Let us know.
that would be actually really helpful, because we also want to make sure that we can give you the most value in every episode. And there's simply no better way than you literally telling us what you want to hear from us.
Yeah.
But what I wanted to say, I feel like you can always see it in different layers. I mean, we always talk about this funnel. You have top of the funnel, middle of the funnel, and bottom of the funnel, which basically comes from a marketing or sales perspective, but you can literally apply this to your personal content strategy as well. Being top of the funnel content means you want to generate as much awareness as possible, which are viral content pieces. Then you have middle of the funnel content, which is for engagement, fostering a community, and simply building a brand. And then close or the bottom is mainly interesting if you offer a product or if you want to convert your followers or whatever to into something. I think that's for the beginning for most of the people the least attractive and the one that they definitely should not focus on. And then it's really important to have a healthy balance between focusing on virality and building a true personal brand, a true community that is engaged and fostered. I feel nowadays a lot of people only focus on the top, and that's cool and that's great. You're getting a lot of views because of your skits and memes. And yes, it's relatable. It's funny. People will follow you. People will like it. People will laugh. You will give them some value. That's no problem. But with just that, you will be, especially long term, unhappy.
Mm-hmm.
And also, you're not as valuable to brands because it's not as much about views, it's
Mm-hmm.
more about engagement. How many comments, how many interactions, how many DMs, how many story views do you get? So you really need to find a healthy balance and not focus, as a lot of people do, just on making funny reels, skits, and memes that bring you the reality. You need to have some sort of substance there so
Yeah.
people can understand who you are as a person.
I think, yeah, it ties back to everything we said, right? Maybe goes into a beautiful wrap up as well, because it is not just one thing. And I think if you listen to the whole thing, you will understand that it's lots of different pillars and factors. They all play kind of together, maybe not fully balanced, but at the end of the day, it is about you
Yeah.
telling your story and who you are. And don't overdo it, please. There are so many names. When you mention like, oh, that is so true. I have so many names that popped up. I'm like, oh my God, it's so cringe.
Yeah.
Be yourself. And I would say there's a threshold to very being very vulnerable. And I think we're humans. That has its place as well. But bring it offline to your friends and your family and stuff. Your followers don't have to know. They don't even know you. But have a balance that works out well for you without overcommitting yourself as well. I think that's very important. And make sure that you see this as doing it for yourself first.
Yeah.
And then if it takes off, you can add others and brands and stuff as well.
Yeah.
But it's a beautiful journey to go
Yeah.
and start with. Yes.
I think I couldn't agree more, and that's actually the perfect way to end it. And I feel like this was definitely a lot. I hope everything we said made sense. I think there's so much more we definitely could cover. So if you guys still have any questions or anything, leave them in the comments. You can anytime just text us in the DMs or wherever you're listening to this. We will try our best to answer everything because this whole thing of personal branding, content strategy, social media, it's a jungle, and we are here to help. We are experts in this, but by no means we have figured it all out. For this, it's way too complex.
It's changing as well. That's the
Exactly.
other thing. Yeah.
But we're here to help, and we're here to connect with you guys.
Yeah.
So yeah, catch you in the next episode. Thanks for joining in for another episode of Run the Brand.
See you. Enjoy and comment, like and follow, and let us know what you want to hear next, and we'll try to cover that.
Yeah. Leave us a rating. We rely on you.
Yeah. Much love. See you.
Bye.